Thanks, guys. Game number 2. Here at the SC2 Masters Cup, brought to you by Silicon Sports, and of course, our good buddy Eddie, who has set all of this up and sets it up every single time, doing a wonderful job of that. We are going to have another PvZ, of course. It is game number 2 between our Blue Protoss player down at the bottom right-hand side of Ohana. It is mGGSouth. Thank you, Stokes. I wish that I actually had money. His opponent up at the top left-hand side, of course, playing for xGKing. It is Poker, aka Poker Face. Actually, I don't know if he's still called Poker Face, but whatever. We'll roll with it. Alright, so we got some Ohana action going on. Looks like we will have a standard Forge First expand, or possibly a Forge First. Wait, am I saying that right? I have no idea if I'm saying that right. But of course, we'll probably just see that very standard sort of play. Here from South, of course, the Forge, the Gate. You can even chuck the Cyber in there if you want to, or you can put down a Pylon instead and put your Cyber a little bit further back. Why is my... There we go. I was about to say, why is my keyboard not working? But, yeah. Standard sorts of things. Ohana action. You wish. Forge fast, Forge first. Well, yeah. Whatever. Something to do with the Forge. I don't care. All I care about now is doing that build that did against Fenner, the Naniwa gas expand kind of thing. But South's just having a quick look, wants to check out what's going on. Does see that there is that spawning pool going down first for Poker. Obviously, the hatchery going to be a little bit delayed, putting a little dent in the economy, but not too bad. And looks like it will be the Nexus first here from our Protoss player. Just heading down, going to throw that down on around about 16 there. Bam. Pretty good. He's actually going to hide... Oh, I was going to say, he's going to hide the probe up there. That's a little bit interesting. But trying to block off this natural here is doing a really good job. Yeah, actually continues on with that. But now, Poker, good reactions, pushes away the drone, and then just sits down and says, you know what, it's hatchery time, and goes straight for it. Meanwhile, for South, of course, he's continuing on with his standard sort of play to Forge the Gate, probably a Pylon up next in just a moment for him. Poker scouting out what's going on, sees that everything is quite standard for the moment, of course. So in this map, you can do a couple of things. Of course, a lot of Protoss love to do the Immortal Sentry all-in on this map. What you want to do is get your Robo going. Some players like to put it down here. Some players will sort of push it around in various places. Either way, what you want to do is get around about 3 Immortals out, start pushing out as soon as you can, and then, of course, wall this off, head up across the map and take advantage of positional play, utilizing force fields to block off areas so you can kill the third, or if you want, most players don't do this, but you can just push straight up into the natural as well and just sort of win from that position. But I haven't actually seen South do that build, so I'm not saying he doesn't do it, but I'm just saying I haven't actually seen him do it before, so I'll be interested to see if he does. Looks like he is going to go for a Cyber just across to the side, not going to full wall it off, wants to make sure that he is able to send out another probe later on for scouting purposes. And Poker has continued on with a very standard sort of style that we saw him doing in the previous game, getting that third base up as quickly as possible. Also, just continuing on with the drone production, up to a total of 25 right now. About to boost that up in a minute to a few more. South has got his double gas going. The Cyber just about to finish, of course, the Cyber, the big point at where we see what the Protoss is going to get up to. And we'll see what gate's starting there. And nothing too much going on. Sorry, I was just having a drink. So, you know, again, I'm not really expecting Poker to do anything crazy. I sort of think he's just going to macro up and just sort of take advantage of a really nice macro style that he plays with. And, you know, we'll see. I mean, there is a Robo, so he is actually going to go for a Robo style here. There is a Stalker coming out first. Oh sorry, it's a Stalker after the Zealot, so he is going to have a couple of these units here. Of course, the Stalker will be able to protect against these Overlords that may be able to scout out what's going on. And just by the fact, third gas only, I think actually it will be a Sentry Immortal all-in. Yep, timings are pretty good for this. He's got the +1 started quite quickly. The Zealot is just poking around at that link, trying to get him down before he can get any good information going. Robo is just about done. Of course, the big signal of what's going on will be if there is an observer out first or if there is an immortal. So we keep an eye on that as well. Of course, that Overlord just up to the top being kept out of range so that it can't get any information going. And there it is. Immortal. So it is going to be an immortal play here from South. We'll see if Poker is prepared to deal with this. He's got quite a lot of drones out, of course, as you would expect from him. Up to 53 drones right now. Got a beautiful income up at around about 1,700 minerals coming in at the minute. 6 more drones also on the way. His lair is also morphing along with the Roach Warrens. So things are looking very, very standard. As we said in the previous game, he did pretty much the exact same thing. So we'll have to see how Poker decides to defend against this. I'm kind of a little bit worried about the fact that South does not have any real protection at the front here. If you're doing this kind of build, you do want to make sure that it's as hidden as possible. You don't want the Zerg player to be able to see what's going on, and if he sees that there is an immortal here already, then he's going to be able to get prepared for something like that. But South has done a really good job of making sure that the Overlords are not able to freely get in. Are you serious? These two are still going. There is a Zealot and a Ling just constantly having a little bit of a running match out there at the bottom Zelnaga Watchtower. But a couple of Roaches have been built. Some Lings are also there with them as well. More Roaches on the way. Roach speed is also being researched right now by Poker, so he's going to put himself in a good position. The timing to move out is fast approaching. We've got around about 15 seconds for optimal move out time right now. There are 3 immortals. More sentries being walked in here by South. He's actually about to get started, and in fact that actually kind of reveals exactly what's going on. So we'll probably see a flood of Lings now pop out from Poker, and there they come. Lots of Lings now coming out. The move out has begun. War Prism is just about to finish building as well. +1 weapons, of course, is done. +1 to armor is also on the way, but he's not going to really finish in time to be utilized by this push. But an interesting proxy pylon here by South, just across to the left-hand side. So he's going to be able to warp in some more units. Has a grand total of 10 sentries. Not too bad at all. But here he comes trying to get some of these units. The probe does go down. Of course, that means the pylon has gone down as well. But luckily for South, he's got an extra one prepared here. And not to mention, of course, the Warp Prism is on the way. So we'll have to see if South is on the ball with his force fields. They'll have to be absolutely perfect here. Stalker's now warping in. There are those sentries. South, he needs to be very careful with the force fields. He doesn't want to try and, chew them all up right now. I'm very sort of skeptical about the path he took as well. You kind of want to try and use this wall across to the side, and Poker moving into a really good spot to get the surround going, but South has his back against the wall. Couple of good force fields, relatively well done, but the Warp Prism is off to the side, not actually warping in any more units. There you go, more units now warping in. 3 immortals still alive, 1 is on very low health and is about to get knocked down by the Roaches. There it goes, needs to perhaps move some of these immortals out, but I think that Poker is going to take this. Looks like he is just sweeping through the rest of these units here. Good reactions by Poker. He's just cleaned up every single thing there. And a GG from South. So, a 2-0 victory there for xGKingPoker.